students, bearing the fact that it is one course, not business administration, then business computing or what. So he insists that it's one, and for them to hold it down for all this while, it's been great that they can manage to continue doing it with Law Society as a body in there. So, Dorothy, given the chance to come stand, let's imagine you went through as president, you are up against how many people? You're up against 5, you are 5 people, right? You are 6, so you're up against 5 people. So in the 5 people, okay, 6 people, let's imagine. Everyone in this house, everyone present, let's imagine Dorothy is now Law Society president. What have you promised your people?
Okay, me, one of the things I looked at was what exactly is missing within the Law Society.
And what was that?
I looked at all the other things, and we had the mentorship programs that people were talking about. We had, the law symposiums. We had all those things that had been put in place. But then I was looking at how do we make these things better, and what do we think can be going on. So on how to make these things better, I was looking at where haven't these things worked. So I basically looked at the mentorship programs. I looked at the fact that these mentorship programs they are not for everyone. They're only for subscribed members. And as those students, we are basically in law school for one goal, so that is education. So if it is academic excellence, then why should other people not have an opportunity to have these mentors? So that is one thing where I thought they were failing at. I also looked at the fact that there is no accountability when these people are given mentors. For instance, I would give maybe a mentor, and I do not go back to check what is exactly happening. Is he meeting the mentor, or is the mentor showing up? Because it is one thing to give a person what they want, it is also another thing to make a follow-up and know whether these things are happening. So now one of the things that was lacking also is the fact that there is no accountability. They never go back, and when you do not go back, that means things tend to reverse. People are not meeting their mentors. The mentors they do not know what if these people are maybe having issues. So when you do not have that kind of accountability and report, then that means you never know where you are going. So now that is what came towards mentorship. I also looked at the fact that we should have a law symposium. And as a society or as a diverse law school, we're not supposed to have a society that talks about one thing, one particular thing all the time. Because from the time I was in law school, from my first year, we've always had these law symposiums where they invite panelists and then they tell us exactly things within law school, things outside law school, what kind of life are we going to be in that. So to me, that was not viable. I mean, if we can have this, yes, it is okay. It is verified, we need to know about law after law school, I mean life after law school. It is okay, you can know that, but does it have to be every year? So I was looking at the fact that we could have our symposiums in ways of, Madame Nis had introduced what they call mentorship series. But then I felt like it's the president. Yes. So I felt like instead of it happening the same topic where we invite people and then they tell us about those things, that shouldn't be the only limitation. So I looked at things like we have different possibilities. We have emerging law avenues that are happening within the country and within the world. So, and these are things that we do not have currently. So we do not have an opportunity. Some of these are possibilities that are coming up, and as you see, we have not decided to take them up. I hope Mr. Vice President is listening, because I would love to see these things being taken up. Yes, so I looked at very many things, and then I looked at the different possibilities that have been scrapped off by the Faculty of Law. For instance, there is media, sports law, and these are things people are interested in. But when you scrap them off, that means they will not get a chance. So how about we now create a chance by introducing these things through the mentorship series the former president had introduced. So if it is having them every month, I would love us to have, let's say this month, we are having taxation. The next month, we will talk about any other emerging technology or any other law avenue that is happening. And it's not that we cannot fail to get people, because we have law firms that specialize. We We have different law firms that specialize in certain pieces of avenues of the law. For instance, Libra does more taxation, Maza, and those law firms. So we approach them according to the law firm and what it specializes in, and we tell them we are trying to create a partnership with you. So when we create those partnerships, we bring them on board. So, and one thing I had also looked at while I was interning with Uganda Law Society was they also used to create partnerships with different law firms. And the good thing is that when you try to create partnerships with them, the major thing they need is publicity. Because when you call them or when you put them on your flyer and it circulates all over social media, that's the kind of publicity they want. You know, people know if I have a taxation issue, if I have something to do with constitutionalism, if it's something to do with this, they will go to this specific profile. So, and for them, that is selling them to the outside world. So we are getting a greater benefit this side because our students are benefiting. So that is one thing I was looking at. And then I also looked at the fact that as law school, you see, we have very many opportunities, the law school that we have not used. For instance, we do not bring our alumni on board. We had a law gala and I was very disappointed. We had a law gala and I was very disappointed that we did not have things from the alumni. Because one thing we need to know is that joins us together as law students, even outside as lawyers, that usually these groups they are in that merge them together. For instance, there is a lawyers league. And these are things that have decided to, they have kept them together even after LDC. So when we decide to bring our alumni on board, they help us a lot. So I expected us to see teams from the alumni because, you know, even if maybe they do not show up very many, but at least they will give a hand. So I think we neglect those people, yet in actual sense they can help us. So I was looking at how can we tap into those potentials that we have as a law school that we have not worked on. The other thing was, for instance, the business school. I think Mr. Bravo, you could correct me. You people have taken advantage of your exchange programs, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And as law school, usually, there are exchange programs, but it is up to us, the students, and the people who lead us, to push for these things. Because at the end of the day, when you do not push for them, then that means the university will also sit and relax. And before I joined UC, we used to see people going for these exchange programs to other different universities. But this is something that is not happening. So when we try to relax and it doesn't happen, we give the university a chance to forget about some of these things. But then it is an opportunity for us. So as looking at the kind of opportunities we had and we were not working on. So those are the major things as looking at tapping into those opportunities that we had. Yeah.
So I guess everyone out there would agree, growth we had been set out. Maybe it wasn't our time yet. And maybe sometime, someday, she could be Law Society President Uganda, maybe. We keep praying for you. Yes, and we appreciate whatever you had planned for them. So for that,
And another note, yes. I would be glad, I would honestly be glad if I saw, because before I came here, I talked to Oyed, I think he met me, we had met, and I told him I would share with him my manifesto. And to me, I would be very happy to see some of these things being taken upon, and Mr. Fred kindly, because it is, I feel like those are the good things our society needs, and when we tap into those things, it will be a good venture for us, because it doesn't make sense me having a manifesto, and probably when I lose it stays with me. It never makes sense. So that means you never had an interest for this like society. It was just position based. So, yeah, I'll be glad if these things are taken upon.
So in a nutshell, you yet the current president, right? You should have yet anytime soon. So you and yet have buddies, right? And
we talked today. We are past.
yeah, you talked today. That means you've not been talking, not?
From the election, a lot of things have happened.
What? Tell us.
Not really good. I'm only saying that a lot of things have happened in the avenue of class and everything.
No, let's talk to the Vice President right now. Vice President, the election, you against your fellow people, you are standing against gifts. What happened in your time for looking for the elections? You were talking to your fellow peers. Of course, you want to be campaigning with the Law Society, majorly law students also. So what was happening? From year 1 to year 4.
I hope to manage to achieve this. See, I have now seen why leaders tend to be corrupt.
Tell us why leaders corrupt.
And I want to fight it in the society. There's no reason I should raise a ban as a student to campaign.
Come again, let everyone know that.
There's no reason as to why I should raise a ban in a society that sits in N block. The whole law school sits in N block. But then politics calls it that you have to throw around banners, throw around flyers, throw around these things. So the question that comes, one, the society doesn't pay. So, personally, I have done business on a personal level. Wherever I invest money, I have to get return on investment. Where do you expect these children, these students, that have invested 2 millions, which they will never get in the society? So then what is the thing? So one, we have to fight is, when I saw, the problem I saw in them was the question of banners and flyers. There's none. I made a few, because there's no point.
What was your budget for the entire election?
I didn't even have a budget. It is someone who forced me. Because I didn't want to make them. Those guys were telling me, I have the money.
The bodyguard?
Yes, those guys told me, man, we need to put our flyers. I told them,
bodyguard.
Student politics. Student politics. Why all these things? Because when you try, that's what brings about monetization of politics, which is not right. So that was the problem I saw in the election. But secondly, what I saw in the election is elections tend to be fights. No. We are trying to push ourselves to be leaders. Whoever gets through, gets through. Whoever doesn't has to allow. I like how Dorothy gets all these things. But then, there's some people who don't. It's a fight. We're campaigning and someone comes to a class where you're a fellow student. Yes, I know it's politics. But I don't have experience, friend. I have been in the business world 7 years. I've been a student, I have 2 degrees now. I'm doing that. Obviously, I don't have experience. So you come to a class and try to say that thing. So which means you're building already an entity on your end. There's no point, there's no reason. Make it politics, but don't make it dirty like it's out. That's why it's called law society, not law government. It's a society. So those are most clarifications. I want us to relax. So that's why I spend little time so that. But you had questions.
Okay. Edwin, something you want to say? Shoot.
I was going to say, because
is it a question or
it would be a question and then a submission
to
both.
Dorothy and
yes,
Brett?
because I have to already launch pad at 45 minutes past.
Yes.
I wanted to have this before. Now, the idea of politics in UCU is a bit sketchy. Yes. I would want to begin from the ultimate beginning of everything. Yes. The school policies, yes, have already put limitations on themselves. You come to an election, and an election is for. It's a fight. You get? Of who is winning and who is not winning. You get? That's why I appreciate the character that I see after I've lost. You get? And it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot to him. Yeah. And how he reacted. A lot. Yeah. Now that is when you see an actual leader. Yes. How does he move himself after the election has come about? And now it speaks to so much that our politics have been put down to a certain trail where ideas are not upheld. Because people are putting much in who is going to show power. You know, when you're having that debate, instead of a debate being an actual debate of purpose, it's a debate of who am I throwing off. I'll go back to the time when the moderator, actually pointed out something on our side, yeah? How is my, and I questioned him, I asked him, are you familiar with Twitter? On Twitter, people explain that these views are mine and they don't affect how I work or something like that. Okay? And I caution him for that purpose. How do you come to tell her? And in terms of it, we have to put them down based on character and needs. And just as something I think about men and trash, every person does this. Does it determine how they think when they're in a seat of office? Are we getting ideas, or are we getting the person that will come off as maybe clean, powerful, etc. You get, yeah? Someone is traveling with 3 cars in the university, so that is the one we are supporting. I mean, the politics has come to nothing. Okay? Nothing. And you know, at the end of the day, when you come to school politics, we understand that if you're grooming politicians, are you freeing them to actually bring ideas? This is why politicians end up lying to people, because they know they won't do much. When you come and tell me something like, for example, you know these ideas are good, but then the practicability based on the university policy, when you come and tell me the students' exchange program, I actually went and found out why the exchange program is not in your school. And this is their thing. They are talking about the idea where the universities to which they are attached, the Uganda Christian University, out there, and don't actually have law degree as one of their courses. So that means if I'm exchanged to that particular university, I would have to, yes, I would have to drop the law degree first, pursue something else, and then practically see how it all goes.
So that's the myth.
You get, that's a problem in between there. How are we looking for a university that wants to stand out in the country? We have Harvard fellows that are lecturing us right now. They have been in those universities. Yeah. What are they doing? What is the society using them for? You get? If there have been students there, what are we seeing? Are we seeing them pitch for us? Maybe 2 students. What's it? Because this year they may be 2. Next year they could be 5. We could do to 10. Okay. But when the society comes, and you know, this is a problem, and I also face it, in the art sector. Okay. In that you go to have you go to push an idea that will actually make you see you up there as far as the country is concerned. You're going to maybe pitch for a festival, pitch for something, and they tell you, you know what, we don't support things like this, we don't support. For us, if it's not Christian, and it's not a church program, they will never give it. And that's the same problem that law society is facing. A law society that carries all those students, yeah, and you're giving them an amount of 200,000 as guild fund. What are they going to do with that money?
They give them 200,000 from the guild government to the law society.
To the law society.
What is 200,000?
What is it going to do for 2,000? Yeah.
Are they supposed to do anything with that money?
It's supposed to help the problems of the students. How is that supposed to happen? If you want to empower society, empower its financial ability. If you empower its financial ability, it will help in a way that if you're empowering it financially, then you can understand that maybe a society will work itself out and maybe become broader. We can start reaching out for ourselves because we have the funds to do so. But not everything that affects societies, if the students are not, if the students cannot pitch in, then the university is going to pitch in by a small extent, and then the activities are going to stall because there is no money and all those things, and the policies will never function because your ideas will be buried. And that's how the politics has come to play. Okay? That's why I loved when Fred was talking about the ideas of we as law students. Yeah? Why can't we engage in broadening our law society out of Uganda Christian University? Okay? And maybe when we get our society known to the communities around us, maybe that's when we can actually be meaningful enough for partnerships to come. But when you cage leaders and they cannot speak their mind without thinking twice about what the school policy says, that's going to be a problem. So my question would be, how do you think you're going to change this particular concept, right? Either in leadership or the non-leadership? This particular concept where we see that the school policy is not really standing out for us, then you as us as individuals, because we cannot keep blaming, they don't blame the government, what are we doing for ourselves anyway? Okay. So what are we as a society going to do through our leaders to help us get there? And I think that's what politics of UCU should be based on upon, not what the university we can achieve at the university? We as a students, what can we achieve?
Just a moment, don't take that in our thing. This question goes to three of you. Kindly note it down. What are your plans as society members? What are you going to do to ensure that the society as law moves out? It's widening past Uganda Christian University. So, Edwin the poet raises very many concerns for anybody out there to listen to or watch. He blames Uganda Christian University as an institution, and I'm happy that he's speaking his mind out. This is one of, it's on record, we don't care, he speaks the truth. Now, Ed, I would ask you this. Have you, who's the current, how do they call it? Person who's in charge of the faculty? How do they call it?
Dean.
Yeah, the dean. Who's the current dean?
Dr. Peter.
This man was a lecturer.
Yes, he left.
Again, he's very nice man. You made me very nice, very clean. Okay, that is fitted. So have you had a chat, a chat with that dean?
One, personally, I've not gotten to, I've interacted with him in class. But you also get to know, you can interact with someone and get to know their opinion, know where they stand in a particular concept. But I've also gotten a chance to hear from people that have interacted with him. And I'll for example, tell you that in a particular setting of a class, that the dean seems to have no extreme power. You get? If you're practically giving, because now we are school of law and no longer faculty of law, and that speaks to a lot of power. You get? But if you're giving me a school of law and there is no visible things or visible power that I see, that I'm now a school of law, then there is nothing. The best they have done, for example, I'll give you an example that is just away from everything. As the law society, it is very important that we understand that we should have a say in helping our students who may not be able to raise tuition. Okay? But I will assure you, there's a point in time when we interacted with one of those people. I had two friends of mine that had gotten a few challenges. And exams were in 2 days. Okay? And then they went there, and then the faculty was saying, they came back to us, the faculty was saying they could help them, but they don't have the power. The law society says it's only the dean that can help. The dean says my hands are tied. You get? The school policy doesn't let me make decisions. Which school of law, which school in any sector cannot even make decisions for their students? And the funny part is, they were actually when we went to faculty to talk to, I think one of the lecturers, to help them at this time. And they did us. We found something that was very funny. Two students who are about to represent the university, and they lost that on moods were the verge of failing to sit for the prize. You want me to do something for you, but you can never listen when I want to get something from you. Okay? There's no one that can graduate without paying that tuition. What is it? Now the problem is usually has become business oriented, in that they cannot release money until they feel like